Oh, whoa! Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my Zhongli guide. So he just came out for us in Canada, but I've been testing him all day and I've been researching him weeks before he came out to make sure this video is as accurate as possible. Now, first of all, I want to clear up the confusion. A lot of people have been hating on him, saying he's bad, but honestly, he's one of the best supports in the game, and honestly maybe the best, and I'm not baiting here. For comps that need Bolide, that need a shield, he's the best. And for other comps, he's still amazing because Elemental Burst is so strong. You guys are going to constantly see me using my Elemental Burst and dealing a ton of damage. Even without any buffs, no supports, no food, no nothing, it's still 30, 40k, just dealing a ton of damage. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to show you guys my build, all the artifacts, weapons, and we're going to talk about party comps. And then we're also going to do a DPS showcase. Furthermore, you guys should know that DPS, physical DPS Zhongli is very good and on the same level as like a Razor and like a Keqing. But we're going to talk about that in the next video that I'm going to upload tomorrow or the day after. And I'm going to show you guys physical DPS Zhongli and why that's good. But in this video, we're going to be talking about support Burst Zhongli, who has one of the best ultimates in the game. It's so broken. And I'm not baiting. You guys are going to see throughout this video. Last thing I want you guys to know is that almost every night I stream on Twitch and I really appreciate all the support I've been getting. So if you want to come watch, be sure to follow. Link is in the description. That being said, guys, let's get right into the video. All right, so now let's talk about artifacts. So I was personally alternating, and I have been alternating between 4-piece Petra and 2-piece Petra, 2-piece Noblesse. For a nice big burst, I like running the 2-piece of Noblesse with the 2-piece Petra, because what it does is it'll give you 20% elemental burst damage. Very, very nice, because elemental burst is what you're looking for on Zhongli. It's what you're going to be spamming basically every 12 seconds. Now, the Petra set is very nice because the 2-piece gives you geo damage, so you can just run the 2-piece if you want, but the 4-piece is also amazing and definitely the best in certain comps, especially if you're running like a Bolide character like Child, where you will pick up a crystal. Let's say you apply Hydro with Child, pick up the Hydro crystal on Zhongli, then you swap back to Child. That Child will then have 35% damage bonus for his Hydro, which is very, very nice. So 4-piece Petra, very, very good, and so is a 2-piece Noblesse with like a 2-piece Petra. Now for early game sets, in case you are pretty low level or whatever, you can run this energy recharge on like a Scholar set or something, or Exile. But you can also do something like a Berserker. A 2-piece Berserker gives you crit rate, and those are some decent early game sets until you can get Noblesse and or Petra. Now in terms of stats that you want, there's quite a lot that you want, but mainly I would say focus on crit, because as a support, you just want a ton of crit on him. So for something like the Sands, I have a lot of crit damage on it, and the main stat has to be attack. Now another decent stat is HP. Now you don't want to be maxing this. You never want a main stat to be HP apart from Flower. I've seen some people run full HP Zhongli, and honestly it's bad because of the scaling. But as a substat, it's not terrible because your ultimate gains bonus damage. So the best stats though are crit rate and crit damage. Attack is really nice too, and energy recharge is nice. Now he does have his ultimate quite often. He gets it back pretty fast, especially if you're running 2 Geo characters. That's why I don't think you need an energy recharge main stat, but as a substat, it's really nice because that just means you can spam your ultimate more often. Although in general, you should be fine on energy particles. For the goblet, you need a geo damage goblet. Obviously, if you're running him like a physical DPS, no, but for support Zhongli, geo damage is the way to go. It's just so good. For the circlet, obviously crit damage or crit rate, it depends on your stats. I have a crit damage circlet because my weapon gives me crit rate. Okay, let's talk about weapons. So for the 3-star weapons you can run on him, they're all pretty bad. I would really not recommend running 3-star weapons on him. If you have to choose one, the halberd is probably the best, but they're all pretty bad. And you can just go to the blacksmith and craft either a crescent pike if you're trying to be a DPS, but since it's a support video, I would recommend the other one, the prototype, for support. But there are much better ones like the battle pass spear, which is what I'm using. The deathmatch, very nice. It gives you crit rate. Even if like the effect is nice, but mainly the crit rate substat is just so good. Okay, now for the weapons I don't have, I'm gonna use Genshin.gg. So all the 5-star weapons are really good. Obviously, Kunwu's Iris Rift, the sword that's made for Zhongli, is great, and these 2 are also very nice. So if you have a 5-star weapon, definitely you want to use it. They're all great. But in terms of the 4-star weapons for us plebs, the 2 best ones are Deathmatch and Prototype, and the Blackcliff Pole, which it was in last month's shop. Apart from those, there are some other good ones. Favonius and Grudge are pretty okay. Favonius and Grudge are both pretty good. This is the best craftable weapon at the blacksmith if you're running support. Pike obviously being better for DPS. And then the Dragon's Bane is okay. It's better if your DPS is Hydro or Pyro. So you can, if you're running a Child and you don't have an amazing weapon, you can definitely run a Dragon's Bane if you want to. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. All right, now let's talk about talents and what makes Zhongli such a good support. So we'll start with his elemental skill, then we'll move on to the burst and the other talents. So for the elemental skill, you can either press it or hold it. So basically what you can do is you can press your E and it makes a geo construct, which does AoE geo damage. So it'll do geo damage like in an AoE and it's just some nice damage, and it'll get you some particles. Now, what I like to do the most is to hold it, because this will give you a great shield, which is probably the best shield in the game. It's super nice, especially if you're running someone like Child, or anyone with a Bolite set. You can swap to them, and the shield will last a very long time. The shield, it's a pretty nice Geo shield that does a nice amount of damage as well, and it scales off of Zhongli's max HP. So this is the scaling. It's actually pretty durable, and it's only talent level 6, so it's a very, very nice shield. So one thing to note with his E is, since it's a 4-second cooldown, what you can do is you ideally want the Geo construct out all the time. So what you can do is you can press your E, just press it, then hold, then like swap to your DPS, and 4 seconds later, swap back, and then hold it to get the shield or whatever. Because since having a Geo construct out at all time is just really nice, and you can only have one at a time, you can press it, then wait a bit, and then hold it. Now, the main thing that makes him a good support is his ultimate, his elemental burst. What this does is it has a crazy, crazy scaling. At level 7, it does 700%. That's insane. On top of that, the energy cost is only 40, which is nothing. And the cooldown is 12 seconds. Now, in case you don't know what 40 energy cost looks like, if we look at Venti, who can spam his ultimate, that's 60, which means Zhongli has even less energy cost than Venti. In terms of talents, the Jade Shield is just nice. It fortifies, which gives you more shield strength, which is whatever. But the main one that's nice is Dominance of Earth. It basically means that your ultimate, your elemental burst, will deal more damage based on your HP. Now, the scaling is only 33%, whereas the scaling of like your attack and geo damage and stuff is 705. So obviously don't focus on HP, but that means that HP as a substat or maxing your flower and stuff are all pretty good. So something I forgot to mention is that his ultimate, his elemental burst, petrifies enemies, which stuns them, and I'll show you guys a clip of that. Alright, so this should petrify him. Yeah, and now he's just stunned, and I can DPS him this entire time. Also, his normal attacks and charge attacks and all that stuff are very good, and there's a way to animation cancel that and all that stuff, but I'm going to be talking about that in my next video, my DPS Zhongli video, so we're not going to be focusing on that because as a support character, you don't really want to auto-attack with him. In terms of Constellation, we have none because I'm as broke as Zhongli. Now, in terms of party setup, guys, since he's a Geo support and Geo can crystallize with like just about anything except a Nemo. Now, on paper, Geo Resonance is pretty good, and you'll see me running Ningguang a lot, but one of the problems with it is that you don't want to be running 2 Geo supports with Zhongli. It's just not worth it. You can't run 2 Petra sets, like they don't work. The 2 4 pieces don't stack, and just overall, it's not worth running 2 Geo supports. So the only time you would want to run get the Geo Resonance is when you have a main DPS who is Geo. A good example is Ning, who you'll see me use in some clips, and I mainly use her though for one of her talents, which basically just gives you more geo damage, which is really nice for her, obviously, but also for Zhongli's elemental burst. But in general, I would, if you're running as a support, obviously have a main DPS like Child, then you can have him as a support, and you can run either another Geo if you want. You can run Bennett, who will give you more damage. Bennett is super good in general, but especially with Zhongli, because Zhongli's burst does a ton of damage, and Bennett will make it do even more. So obviously, like, I can go on for hours about party comp, but basically he's good in just about any team because he's a Geo support with a very good elemental burst. Now, I would say someone like Venti can be nice with him because you could clump up a bunch of enemies and then do that AoE damage from your burst. So an Anemo character can be nice with him, despite Anemo and Geo not really having much synergy from an elemental point of view. Alright guys, now we're going to get into the damage showcase. I'm going to be showing you guys a bunch of clips that I got from my stream. So some clips might be a bit lower quality, but they should still be good. And basically it's just a bunch of different enemies. Some are in Abyss, some are outside of Abyss, some use food, some no food, different party comps, some domains, some different domains, all that stuff. So a bunch of different clips in this DPS showcase. I hope you guys enjoy. We're going to do this plant without food, without potions. Then we're going to do with food and with potions. We're going to see the difference, okay? This clip right here is going to be no food. Not bad. 50 some K, and I didn't even use the name. I actually used the name. Let me run through the screen. Oh, my screen broke. Oops. Whatever. I didn't pyro him. It was like 60 some K for support. Because we did without food last bit. Now we're gonna do with food. I just want to see how much it can do. Boom! 87, let's go. Oh, whoa! Okay, over 100K. That's pretty nuts. Boom. Alright, I'm gonna try this. Got no food or nothing. Boom. Nice, 70K. 70K, no food, only Bennett. That's pretty fucking nuts. Everything you see though is just a support though. And this Abyss Sword doesn't give any buffs. I just picked it because I can't do anything higher than 9 right now. So we're gonna do that. Please crit. Did anyone see that? I didn't see that on there. I don't know what that did. 66k, not bad. For a support character, not bad. 52? That's without Bennett. 52k without Bennett. Pretty great. Nice. Okay, easy. Ooh. 32 no crit, not bad. $2 million crit. 100k outside of this again. Okay, 134. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This video took me a while to research before Zhongli came out, so I was ready to make it as fast as possible because he just came out in America. Now, I want you guys to know that there's a DPS video on him coming out soon, probably tomorrow, maybe the day after, so stay tuned for that. I stream every day on Twitch. Please follow me if you want to. It's super, this support's been amazing. I really appreciate it. Sorry if I talk fast sometimes. I'm just trying to get this video out as fast as possible and not waste your guys' time while still giving you the best information possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was thorough. I read every comment, so let me know what you guys think. Subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's okay too. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.